Hello, we are live. Hello, welcome to the Roundhouse Poetry Slam 2020. Tonight is the 14th annual Poetry Slam here at the Roundhouse. We didn't know if it was going to happen this year, did we? If we're honest, we did not know if it was going to happen. We were booked back in June as part of the Last Word Festival. There were loads of heats across the country and workshops and loads of amazing stuff that all unfortunately had to be cancelled because of COVID. But we are here tonight, we made it happen, we are COVID secure, and we are ready to have some government-approved fun. So, there's no live audience with us here tonight, you may have noticed. Unfortunately, because of the restrictions, we're not allowed to have an audience here in the room. But our audience is at home. Thank you to everybody who has joined us. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. We really appreciate you being here, sharing this space with the young people and supporting them on the stage. Doing things online has also meant that we're able to do some things that we wouldn't be able to otherwise. So 2 of the slammers that you're going to be hearing from tonight are actually live streaming from different places. So one of them will be from Glasgow, and one of them's tuning in all the way from New York, which is really cool. But it means that there might be a couple of technical hitches along the way, so please bear with us if that happens. Anybody at home who has accidentally unmuted themselves in a Zoom meeting will know technology can be a tricky beast. So just bear with us if any technical hiccups happen. I do have a page full of dad jokes if we need to bide some time with a technical difficulty, so we're in good hands. Shout out to Maria Ferguson, by the way, who provided me with the majority of the dad jokes. Please at her, not me, if you don't like them. Okay, so tonight you will be hearing from some of the top young poets in the country. There were preliminary rounds earlier in the month. The highest scoring poets from those rounds are performing here tonight. We have some really amazing poets and we're really excited to be able to have them on the stage tonight and share their work with you. So we're very, very, very lucky to have them here. Each poet will perform 2 poems, one in the first half, one in the second half. You'll also hear performances from some of our judges throughout the evening. The poets have 3 minutes to perform their work. If they go over that, they risk losing points. And if they go up to 4 minutes, then they will subtly be ushered off the stage by me. They will be scored 0 to 10 based on their poetry and based on their performances by our judging panel, who I will introduce in a second. The highest scoring poet will win £600. Can I get a whoop? Can I get a more enthusiastic whoop? Yes, great. The second place poet will win £400 and the third place poet will win £300. Just a heads up before we begin, there might be some swearing. There might also be some content that you might find triggering in some way. So the Roundhouse don't censor any of the young people who come on their stages, so you might hear references to topics such as sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, violence or sexual violence or things of that nature. And while we really encourage you to lean into discomfort or conversations that are maybe challenging, we also want to make sure that you are taking care of yourselves while you're listening with us tonight. So please, if you need to step away from the screen at any point, go make a cup of tea or get a breath of fresh air, then please feel free to do that. I will now introduce you to our fabulous BSL interpreter for the evening. Please give all of your love for Ali Gordon. They will be with us for the whole night. And I will also introduce you to our esteemed judging panel. We're very lucky to have these people with us, and we're really glad that they could be here. Our first judge, his debut poetry collection, Rendang, was published with Granta in the UK and Wesleyan Poetry Press in America. It has just won the Forward Prize for Best First Collection, and it's nominated for the T.S. Eliot Prize. Please give your love to Will Harris. Our second judge of the evening is a fellow at the Royal Society of Arts. She is a multi-award-winning cultural producer, writer, and social entrepreneur. She's worked with the likes of Gaudem, Tate Modern, Samsung, Nike. She has the best first name in the world, and she is the founder of the award-winning initiative Black Ticket Project. Please give all of your love to Toby Campion. Our final judge of the evening is a fiction writer, a poet, an essayist, a publisher, a poetry educator. What doesn't he bloody do? His collection, After the Formalities, was a Telegraph and a Guardian Poetry Book of the Year, and it was shortlisted for last year's T.S. Eliot Prize. He's an honorary fellow at the University of Roehampton, and he is the director of Outspoken and Outspoken Press. Please give a hand for Anthony Anaxagoro. We also have a fourth judge with us this evening. Can I get a mystery noise from the slammers? Okay, pathetic. I hope you did better at home. So, our fourth judge is you, the audience at home. So, after the last poet has performed their second poem, you will have the chance to vote for who you thought was your favourite slammer of the evening. Those votes will then be counted and verified. They won't be verified, they'll just be counted. And the person with the most audience votes will win the audience prize. And they will win £300. So it's a big responsibility. Please take it seriously. Feel free to make notes throughout the night, make your own scorecards, do whatever you need to do, but make sure at the end of the slam you are ready to vote for your favourite. There'll only be a really short window, maybe 2 minutes. There'll be a link that comes up on screen, so just be ready for that at the end of the slam. Audience at home, you've also got another really important job. So as I've told you, there's not a live audience here apart from the slammers and the judges and the brilliant Roundhouse crew. It's a big space. It's a nerve-wracking space to perform on. For some of these young people, it will be their first time performing on a space in a stage that's this big. So we need you to give all of your love, give all of your energy so that the young people here can feel it. So throughout the night, I'll be saying things like, make some noise for the next poet, or let's hear it for this person. And I'm talking to everybody in the room, but I'm also talking to people at home. So we would love you to clap, to bang your feet, to make other bodily noises when we do that, so that the young people here can feel your energy and feel your love coming from wherever you are into the Roundhouse tonight. So, we also have a chat box function, so you can leave GIFs, you can leave emojis, likes, memes, please do all of that. We're gonna practice that now. So, I'd like you to imagine that a young person has just come up on stage, they've just finished their poem, they killed it, it was emotive, it moved you in some way, maybe you laughed, maybe you cried, maybe you thought about something in a different way. Whatever it is, the young person came on the stage and they performed their heart out. What kind of reaction does that sound like? Okay, we're going to do that again, including everybody in the studio audience. So, a young person has just come on stage and they performed their heart out. What is your reaction? Brilliant. Yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. And the audience at home, we feel the love, we feel the energy. Thank you. So we need to do that for every young person who gets on the stage here tonight. Okay. So, before we get started with the official slam, we have someone very special to come here and warm up the space, warm up the judges, warm up the slammers, warm up everybody at home. He is the winner of last year's Roundhouse Poetry Slam. He is the reigning champion at the Roundhouse Poetry Slam. Please give all of your love to Kareem Parkins-Brown.
Yo, hello, cool, we nice? Cool, hello everyone, hi, how are we? We okay, we nice, cool. Everyone, how are we? Are we okay? Are we nice? Right, yeah, you lot ain't been to no gigs this year, cool. Yeah, I can hear the fan, cool. I've written a poem. My grandparents were pastors, yeah, Jamaican pastors, and one thing Jamaicans are known for is giving really accurate but cruel nicknames. And I feel like God needs a rebrand, and if there's any small island which should be tasked with rebranding God, it's the island of Jamaica, 100%. So that's where this poem comes from. I'm not mocking nothing at all, but if I was, can you tell me nothing? Cool. So yeah, this poem's called God is Airing Your Prayers Because. God is airing your prayers because, dear God, is not a good way to start that's not a good way to start a poem, Kareem. Eat your words. Dear God is not a good way to start a prayer. Any prayer starting with dear God deserves to be ignored. Instead of dear God, try dear boss of loss, the one who ends my friends. Instead of dear God, try dear my nuclear uncle, forever Trevor. Try warehouse of where and hows, the book that bullies the librarian, the book that bullies the shelf, the librarian who bullies the books, the library of everything in which the librarian is the author of everything. Instead of God, try the lonely tongue which kept cloning itself till it became a brain, by accident, my long-distance stalker, my mountain of Marmite, dear valley of virginity covered in Vaseline, dear casino of calendars, dear bakery of baby pictures, dear mafia of my molecules. Try calling God the small business of the year. Dear surveillance camera who wrapped me in videotape before giving me to the police. Dear jacuzzi of fat philosophers who power the bubbles by talking out their asses. Dear fresh cut grass that smells like cough medicine. If money is the smell of other people's hands, then instead of dear God, try praying to other people's hands. Pray to whoever's got their hand in your pocket. Hold your £20 note to the light and wait for it to talk. Instead of dear God, try dear El Shadow, my ego in a tuxedo. Dear hand on the thermostat, dear moustache on the back of the shotty, dear pulse inside the thumb on the big button, dear pulse that is not a pulse, but is banging the skin open. Dear helicopter, it is I, the grassy field, and I have more blades than you. Big up everyone, hey yo, good luck you lot, yeah, have a good time. Yeah.
Let's do it for Kareem Parkins-Brown. So before we start the proper slam, before the first slammer comes onto the stage, just a reminder of the maxim that is said all around the world at slams. The point is not the points, the point is the poetry. The points are not the point is the poetry, or something like that. Basically, the competition is a gimmick to get people to come and watch poetry, to celebrate poetry, to support young people, and to create platforms for them to share their voices. So even though there's a competition, even though there's an audience vote, even though there's cash prizes, the point is the poetry and the point is supporting these young people, which is what the Roundhouse does best. So please remember that whilst we're here listening to these young people. Are you ready for the slam to begin? Are you ready for the slam to begin? Please give all of your love to our first slammer of the evening, Amani Saeed. It is a long walk to the stage, so please keep that look going until she reaches the stage.
Watch your bag. Watch your friend. Watch that sister at the end of the tube carriage rocking back and forth in the felt seat with a thusbee threaded between her fingers. Nobody notices her Nike sneakers. Leave a 3-person radius around the hijabi with the backpack standing well back from the platform edge in case Tommy comes by rigging a baseball bat over the white tiles. I spy with my eyes her iPhone screen. She's bopping to Florence in the machine, but I guess you don't notice our assimilation. Our interpretation of cultures, how we crush the mesh of them between our fingers like border fences. How we stitch hybrid flags from the ripped seams of our partitioned lands. How we finesse the spices the colonizers could steal, but never seem to learn how to use to season. We integrate the taste of home into your bland dishes, and then stand washing over the kitchen sink, wistfully wishing for some nostalgic rewind of the DS-board ticker tape to a time when Allahu Akbar still meant God is great and didn't turn you into a walking pipe bomb. And when the hairs poking out your hijab didn't become stray copper wires. And when men didn't magnify their desire to strip your veils on sweaty, crepuscular computer screens. Yeah, baby, come for me, boy, don't come for me. Even when men lower their gazes, somehow they manage to make my body obscene. Our hips are vilified and our laddered tights and split thighs become excuses for them to hide in. As if my sinning justifies yours. Still, seems no matter who's doing the looking, our wombs, our hunting grounds turn graveyards. We're crucified in our own weaponized bodies, and I have had enough. Women have always written their histories in white ink, so don't think that you can read me now. Look at me now. I'll turn you to stone. Damned by the West if I cover up. Damned by God if I don't. I'll succumb and play monster for you. Succubus to your fallible protagonist. Calypso to your Odysseus. My laugh is the Medusa's, so you better cover your ears. My serrated giggle splintering your hubris. I'm the burning stake in the Cyclops' eye. I'm Artemis transforming Actaeon into a stag. I am the single iris shared between three hags, still scrying the future with perfect clarity, and baby, I predict hellfire because karma, she's a bitch. 3 bitches. 4 bitches, 5 bitches, a whole matriarchal line of bitches walking shackle-free, cackling their bitch cackles hysterically because they can foresee a line of queens that never would have been if not for the misery you inflicted. If you hadn't evicted us from our bodies, our homes, we are the living ghosts coming to collect alimony 50 years too late, coming to collect the education stolen from child brides at 15, coming to collect the half-finished degrees, coming to collect the buried baby girls. Blessed be that unborn chorus of voices who wouldn't have been allowed to speak, let alone to scream. And blessed be those invisible women who have somehow still flourished like weeds. We have overgrown Eden, bled a new garden, and birthed our own freedom.
Let's hear it for Amani. Keep that love going for our second slammer of the evening, Greg Arundell.
Pete, a petrol station love story. Anything else for you, sir? Pete sits, sighs, scans through another discount pork pie and wonders why, oh why did he choose this life? See, Pete, he'd never been the ambitious type, and try as he might, motivation was the only gripe he had with himself as he lay in bed at night. Beep, 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 beep. Checks his pulse, sees if he's even still alive. Pete's life had well and truly flatlined, it just lacked drive. You see, this 24/7, that was his domain. From pumps 1 to 6, he did roam, remain, with no one to blame but himself. And Pete's station, it was stationed on the very edge of town. From police on patrol, limos, ball gowns, they all passed through his doors. Lead-footed businessmen, wet wipes hastily wiping lipstick marks, guzzling tic-tacs as the tactic for the route home to their wives. Midnight triple-shot coffee for triple night shift midwives with crow's feet eyes. He was the constant in their lives, the unleaded gatekeeper on their travels to the outside. Cross my palm with silver, no less than £5 minimum, and we don't accept American Express. And so below the neon lights of his petroleum perfumery, his castle of confectionery, all alone on his swivel throne, our king holds forecourt. And as our hero sits and sighs, sending through late night texts without reply, that 24th little hour, caffeine stained, drips by. 0001. Pete's shift shifts from night to day, and things might start to shift our hero's way. From his perspex prison, his heart thuds so loud he can hear each beat. The boy from the all-night takeaway across the street comes striding towards him, helmet in hand. Fuck. He had nothing planned. Though he was pump number 4, to Pete, he was always a 10. And when he looked at him, he was ripped apart, yet more whole than he had ever been. He had jet black hair, sort of ruffled, out of place in helmet groove curls down his bespectacled face. In that one moment, Pete saw a future and dreamed to think that even their shifts could be in sync. See, to Pete, they were one and the same. And when he looked at him like those petrol puddles, he was rainbow stained. He wanted to tell him that it was always a pleasure and never a chore, that every time he walked through his door, whether 9 a.m. or 3:45, no longer was his life this monotonous bore, that together they could flick through heat with all the out-of-date Mars bars they could eat. So come on up, Pete, this is it. Don't just gawp at him, you useless tit, just smile. There you go, that's it, that's not so hard. You're already doing better that time. It took you 15 minutes to ask if you had a nectar card. Now just say something, anything, whatever comes to mind. Ask him how his night's going, if he maybe wants to go for a drink sometime. How's your drink night sometime? Shit. Well, I suppose it's an improvement. Shame. Maybe tomorrow night we'll try ask for his name.
Let's hear it for Michael Mullen. Sorry, Greg Arundell. Next to the stage, our first slammer who will be zooming in to us, live streaming. Please, all the way from Glasgow, give your love to Michael Mullen.
Every queen, every fairy, every gay boy, for the neat-hipped sprites with a twinkle in the throat, for the hissing nymphs with fruit in their vocals, raise up your gay voice, let it lout and fizzle as if your tongue was trying to protest your teeth, lick round your vowels as they claw air. Marsha P. Johnson used her voice to blaze history in place, queer howls, tinkling chants, echoing down the bloodlines. Even her name rouses movement. Marsha, 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 march those words out with the machinery of sound for every little bender, scared of questions in case their answers start glowing in the mouth. A gum-bright flame, raise up your gay voice until every gay voice meets in a shrill cacophony of the fabulous, an orchestra of faggots singing sweet into the ozone. Macerate shame in your saliva's liquor. Don't stop until every word glitters, language smelting with the body like a lozenge. For the sissies, lisping wisdoms, tongue snaking out of its old skin with every syllable, the swoop of voice, the genderless truth of noise. Raise up your gay voice. Let it batter through work meetings. Let your bent recitations bloom in boardrooms like a pink wild orchid. There's pride flags in Primark, but queers overseas still burn, so let your poofy little voice pierce as proof we exist. Make every frilly silly, say it with your hand spelly, gay word gay. Your letters, let your T's spell tea as they kick up their heels when teased in your teeth. For every batty boy bumder rejected for lacking a certain thunder in the dialogue, for ladies who baritone, for the dual spirit pixies, the indigenous godlings, raise up your gay voice, loud enough to wake the high-heeled elders, our angel-lunged ancestors, our twink-haunted heavens in the crucible of your throat. Raise up your gay voice, because love is not felt in the heart. Love is felt in the mouth.
Let's hear it for Michael Mullen. Keep that love going for our fourth slammer of the evening, Oshanti Ahmed. Let's have your emojis, have your gifts, have that online love going until our poet gets to the stage.
The reduced aisle at Tesco is proof that God loves you. A long shift calls you to the corner of the shop. Like a moth under fluorescent light, wilting plums are undressing themselves in front of you. A deflated loaf of bread sweats and gifts a floodgate of luxury wine. And you pair it with a meat that looks like it was blessed to be killed twice. The cakes have toppled over, congealed, and resemble something that has already gone through all the staff in the store. The truth is, you haven't eaten for a week, and you must ignore the mold in these leftovers of a fancier life you pretend you don't want, but gives you the chance of a full stomach tonight. Here, buy a fancy salmon sandwich, go home, play dress up.
Let's hear it for Oshanti Ahmed. Keep that love going for our next slammer of the evening, Syd Wilmot.
If I weren't a person, I'd be a cardboard box full of old magazines, propping open a kitchen door and making fuck me eyes at the people eating Marmite on toast at the table. Or a wire model of a human body, scraps of second-hand books hanging off for suggestion, a substitute for flesh. If I weren't a person anymore, I'd be other lives collected along the way. Little stones rolling around the footwell of a shitwagon car, travelling up and down the M6, still dreaming of the beaches and the driveways and the lay-bys they were plucked from so unceremoniously. If I weren't a person, never had been, I'd be a seed tucked tight under earth, under moss blanket. 2 pages of neat handwriting describing soil, written by someone who had never seen it, never picked dirt from under the nails. I'd be, oh my God. I'd be a lie on a CV. Still dreaming of present tense indicative doing word. I'd be a doing word si yo no fuera una persona. An ad in the classified, the phone doesn't ring, an outline, a longing not spoken aloud. I'd be patterned carpet, hotel corridor, all 4 legs of kitchen table, places not meant to be women like me comfortable. My legs between hers, my legs between hers and her and her, and liminal space. I'd be in between, liminal, lying, si yo no existiera. I was never a person at all. Thank you.
That was Syd Wilmot. Let's hear it. Keep that love going for your next slammer of the evening, Kiran Ray Williams.
This poem is called Covert. I hope for brighter futures, where if you're black, the police won't try to shoot you. I could say we're close, but I'd be lying to you. The day that my complexion has no preconceptions that make you think you need a weapon is the day you'll hear me say, hallelujah. I grew up not feeling black enough to be black because of the way that I speak and the way that I act. Never acknowledged as an Indian because I didn't look it. I was proud of who I was, but they took it. I wrote those bars 6 months ago as a passing thought. A message that I needed to be heard and can't ignore. A few weeks later, in the States, they're debating martial law. They tried patience, they tried peace. Now they're at their last resort. And it's easy to think this is a problem for the States. But the parallels are here, and that is not up for debate. The system's broken, built corrupt. That's just how we're born and raised, and so I thought I'd write a rhyme to try and show my thoughts today. When I learned history in school, I got Hastings, Henry, Hitler. That battle we fought, that king we love, that war where we were victor. I didn't learn my ancestors were forced to build this place with no reward, no remorse, and no hope for better days. Britain was built on that, and so we need to learn that image. But now the slave descendants live here, the master's descendants skip it. So children live their life thinking that they can say certain things with no regard, and they're young, so it's not that bad. Well, I think 9 is too young to be laughed at and called Blackie Chan and be surrounded by people who think Paki is short for Pakistan. Sometimes it's going to a white neighborhood and feeling every eye on you. Or letting your white friend say the N-word, not because you want to, but if you tell them that you don't, then they'll tell you it's a joke. And because they know you and know the history, you need to let it go. Sometimes it's someone coming up to you and saying that you're white, that they have lots of black friends, but you're not the black type, because apparently the default's white and you're only as black as the stereotype, the same stereotype that if you adhere to, they fear you. So 2 categories is how it's broken up. You're either a typical black or a coconut. Lights go off, we can't see you, jokes come like clockwork. You know what hurts? They'll cry about Colston's statue, regardless of the content, saying he wasn't just a racist, he was much more complex. He did so much for Bristol, you shouldn't want him to drop dead. Okay, he showed Bristol the ropes. Now we can hang him from them. It gets worse still. Look at Churchill. You want me to treat him like a saint, like he won the war all by himself with no help, like he ran into no man's land with an AK-47 on full stealth, gunned down every single German, remained on full health, then wrote a strongly worded letter to Hitler to get him to kill himself. No. He was a horrible, racist fraud, and you'll deny it because you hate to see, yes, he defeated Nazis, but if he saw me today, he'd probably wish the same for me. And this is not to say I've lived my whole life in misery, or everyone I've met has hated me for my skin, just these ignorant, uneducated, clear lack of sympathy, things I see online all the time from these vicious, deep echo chambers filled with hatred they don't even think to see from any other side of life. The privilege blinds, a list of reasons I shouldn't be upset about my history. They try to take my voice away from me, like I'm Mr. Bean. You have to justify not being racist now. It's obscene, no instrumental. So you know how instrumental this is to me.
Let's hear it for Kiran Ray Williams. We are just over halfway through the first round of the slam. Judges, how are we doing? All good? Slammers, how are we doing? All good? Yes, okay, people at home, keep that energy going in the comments box. We love it. Thank you for being with us today. Give it up for our next slammer of the evening, Azan Ahmed.
This is called Desdemona. I'd rather not justify my existence just to justify my existence on your bed. My idea of pillow talk ain't answering the questions about Islam you have in your head. My idea of pillow talk is more along the lines of whatever the hell Zayn said. I'd rather not have your arm colonize my torso. You can read into that all you want, but would you mind reading with both hands so your sweat glands won't weep onto my chest? I'm tired of white tears washing away brown excellence. I'm tired of white negligence. Huh? Oh, I said I'm tired. Yeah, just tired, yeah. Might have to make my love life like I make my eggs. No whites. That was a joke. That was a joke. I'm woke. Wallah, some of my best friends are white. But white folk, sometimes you feel like a Facebook poke, you know? You're always there, tempted to press. I feel the constant need to impress. Your pale pressure's got me stressed. And I'd rather not justify my existence just to pacify your insistent curiosity of colonial consequences. I said I'd never write about romance, but man can't even beat without being reminded he's brown, bearded, from out of town. Except the bricks that lay on your lane, jewels which rest upon the crown, they were stolen from our gowns. And I'd really rather you not call it Muslimism. Yeah, there's about 2.2 billion isms of us, many with beards cut into prisms, some with prison-hardened tears, and others who jism await their fears. But not one of us calls it Muslimism. Just food for thought. You know. But don't think too hard. I'd hate for you to get an aneurysmism. So, yeah, can we just sleep? I'll roll this side, you roll there. We'll make an invisible line. A partition. Yes. Exactly.
Make some noise for Azan Ahmed. Keep that energy going for our next slammer to the stage, Ruth Awolola.
This poem is called The Sum, after Manira Pilgrim. Part Nigerian, part Jamaican, I am whole black. Whole jollof rice, whole jerk chicken, whole black stereotype. I am a handful of Scotch bonnets. I'm part Londoner, part Northerner, part foreigner. I am part welcome. I am nowhere to call home. I am too alive right now to care about needing a resting place. I'm the late night tube and the soft day in path. Insert some mispronounced Yoruba that makes my mother laugh. I'm partial to big hoop earrings and low cut tops. Partial to days lost to FIFA and sneaker drops. I am whole woman, whole feminine and butch and crisis. I'm part sinner and believer, part realist and daydreamer. Sometimes I stare at digital clocks and wait for the numbers to form satisfying patterns. while other times I move so fast I have aged years in between memories. I'm part good grades and unbeaten suspension records, part diversity on the front of school brochure and lessons stood in corridors outside the class, part place on the debate team, part teacher says don't talk back to me, part light rain and hailstones. I am whole storm. I am everything the farmer needs to reap his harvest. Some say I am jazz, the literal embodiment of chaos, a cacophony of noise, born from ancient wisdom and ancient boozing and ancient laughter, while others say I am country pop, Taylor Swift's glory days, the calm and familiar ease of a southern sprawl. I am warmth and teenage love stories, multicoloured barns. If you were to ask me, I would tell you I am more than genre, more than playlist, more than Spotify and iTunes. I am every word of your favourite song. I am the tune you cannot get out of your head. I am the amen break and the hallelujah reply. I am national orchestra and stripped back vocals. I am whole music. Some days, I write 1,000 different letters to 1,000 different people. I fall in love with every stranger I meet. I marry all of my friends. I leave lilies on the doorsteps of everyone who has ever made me smile. While other days, I can't even spell my own name. I audibly boo the TV when people propose. I forget all my friends' birthdays. I can't carry enough carnations to the graveyard. I am whole heart and heartbroken. I'm all this and all that, part dog, part cat, part freeform, part structured format, part aching bones, part acrobat, part blank canvas, part paint splat, part I don't love you, part take me back. I believe in aliens and true love and miracles, yet sometimes I don't believe in myself. I'm whole, beautiful, beautiful contradiction, and I'm just trying to make it all add up. Thank you.
Ruth Awolola. Our next poet is our second poet to be live streaming in all the way from New York, so please make them feel extra welcome. Give all your love to Jay Delise.
When the pizza delivery guy spends 30 more seconds on my front step asking me if I live here alone, I tattoo the word nuisance on his tongue and do not tip. My first boyfriend used to call me his. He broke up with me for having dance classes concurring with his existence. I broke open my chest to let bees swarm filled with enough venom to make all men bow down at my feet. This is for the girls who snap necks and spit on anyone watching. This is for the rule breakers, for the movers and shakers, for the group project slayers and the racial sensitivity training table shakers. This is for twist out rockers, for hand raisers, for mothers and the children forced to raise them. This is for headphone wearers, for dirty computers, and for colored girls who watch Tyler Perry's For Colored Girls when representation isn't enough. This is for the girls who have learned their worth from cab drivers who arrived on time and asked them what their name was. For the world we live in, for the company we keep, for 79 cents to the dollar, for navy blue, black, and alligator clips we overcome. On sidewalks, we shall not be moved. In spite of unwanted parking garage accompaniment and grocery and graduation ceremony guests, still like dust, we rise, punching through ceilings and licking the blood clean from our fists. We are leaping down trapdoors, unafraid of what lies below. We are holding up hands and heads and crowns and entering every room like we painted it with the echoes of our own words. We are sinking our teeth into greatness like God herself made it just for us, because this, our bodies, have always been our shit. And for the men who feel entitled to me, to us, we do not owe you ourselves simply because you are present for the time of our discontent or our birth. If you listen closely, you can hear the sounds of my ancestors slaughtering your expectations and swallowing them whole in your kitchens. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Jay Delise. Keep that love going for our penultimate slammer of the evening, Elliot Waloschek.
Stealthing at the rave. Outside, The gulls are circling our dead names. But down here, in the tunnels, the bricks are slick with pheromones, the drums are dripping clean. He falls like broken sleep, and his body is a wind chime beneath his baggy tee. His movement is the noise wounds make when dressed for dance. And his body is poly, fiberglass. Glitter sequins stick to his surface like small splinter chances. Some cling to his feet as he dances. One sits on the curb of his ear canal and one like an eyelash on his cheek. He is covered in chances as he swims between the stitches of the strobe lights. He does backstroke to a bar stool, elbows on the poolside, orders liquid courage, chlorine, and his body opens clumsy portals. Even his piss is pretty, like falling pixels, as he sits in the stall, foot blocking the door, tinkers his keys, leaves, nods back at a man with a dick in his hands, swims back to the slivering beat. Blue flame in the stench, sweat bead, light-footed, pink panthered, he's Venus as a boy. He believes in a beauty, he's Venus as a boy, a silver eel through magma, penisless, uncoiling. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Elliot Waloschek. Keep that love going for our final slammer of the first half. Please give all of your love to Saf S2E.
Harambe Nyayo. Harambe Nyayo. Harambe Nyayo. Brain matter by the border, bullets by the altar, pickled corpse in tabernacle, piss on arm-carved headstone mark where your children can't play. The holy hallowed tips that hold the crucifix at the pulpit, 72 virgins to bear the casket. Step to me, I dare you. Tech 9 to your dome piece, burnt out like Baki leaf. Ashes like dust in autumn breeze, I tattoo tallies of martyrs I birthed from bloodthirsty arousal. I'll mark my homeland hairline with broken graves. No tombstone under church-made caves. I'll mark my walls with unnamed skinless faces. Build up walls so high reality barely survives inside, so be my guest, cross the line, leave your body behind. Azazel awaits your arrival. This is my homeland. This is my homeland. No colonials touch base here. Hell, Hardinge, Gordon, Kitchener, I will bathe in your blood. I will fight my wars and not yours. Justice is a product of education. Harambe Nyayo, Harambe Nyayo, Harambe Nyayo.
Let's hear it for Saf S2E and all of the poets you've heard in the first half. Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. So now is the time for you to be thinking who's your favourite poet, who you're going to vote for in the second half. Reminder that those votes will open at the end of the second half once you've heard all of the slammers perform their second poem. Brilliant. Tech's been great, no? I think it's been great. We didn't even have to have any dad jokes. Do you want to hear a dad joke? No, nobody does, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. The other day, I walked out of my flat and the milkman slapped me in the face. I thought, how dare he? Woo! Okay, and that is going to take us into the interval. Welcome back. We are back. We are back. Grab your cups of tea, grab your drinks, your food. We are back. Come back to your screen. And welcome to the second half of the Roundhouse Poetry Slam 2020. Before we get started, can we all just make a massive amount of noise for the incredible tech team who are doing an amazing job here tonight? And all of the brilliant staff at the Roundhouse who are making this possible. It's no easy feat, so big love to all of the staff here at the Roundhouse who have made tonight possible. We're going to do a little bit of cringe call and response to make sure everybody is back in the room. Audience at home, please join in with this. Everybody in the room, also please bloody well join in with this. So when I say Roundhouse, you say slam. Roundhouse! Yeah. Roundhouse! Yeah. When I say I'm having a gay old time tonight, you say, of course you bloody well are, you're at the Roundhouse Slam. I'm having a gay old time tonight. Yes, okay, I'm glad we're on the same page, brilliant. So, I was asked if I would perform a poem in the second half, kick off the second half with a poem. So I thought I would enter the terrifying nature of slam by reading something that I've actually never read before. It's still basically a draft. So we'll see how it goes. When I wrote it, I was kind of thinking about loneliness and being single and what the opposite of that might be, especially in the lockdown. So, yes. It's called An Average Evening with All My Boyfriends. Alex takes my coat when I come through the door. Aubrey is cleaning out the fish tank. Roberto's late home from surgery again, sorry. The chicken is burnt, but Jake is recovering it with a stir fry. We play Old Maid and watch Diagnosis Murder. Wednesdays, it's ribs and gravy. At wedding receptions, we line dance and all the guests join in. We're everyone's favourite couple. For anniversaries, we book out entire restaurants. Camping holidays work best. We have our own marquee. These days, our underwear is functional. We check each other's testicles. If a breakup is brewing, we use a ballot system followed by discussion groups. It can take up to 3 days, but no one ever leaves feeling cheated. We talk of growing old together, 40 rocking chairs moving in unison. At night they say, don't change for us, please. Show us the grim bits and we'll stay. In the morning, they're still there, all of them. Thank you. Okay, sweet. So we are going to go straight back into the slam. Are we ready for our first slammer of the second half? Keep all that love going. Thank you for all of your interaction online. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody at home. Keep that love going for our first slammer of the second half, Saf S2E.
They spoke of destiny as if unfathomed. Dreams are savage due to the lack of understanding, binding security with simplicity, ambition aligned with obedience. They spoke of creativity as if unholy. Nature is uncrafty in their eyes. We told ourselves we never died and painted fear, took ourselves shell deep and missed the temple. As if unresponsible, we entered entitled that prayer. Palm to palm Sundays, workless Saturdays, and toe-to-toe ranks on a Friday, demanding salvation. I patterned sacrilege to misuse. Doctored doctrines, the wielding of influence, a faith to be celebrated, not implemented. We equated sacrifice to pride. Burning gas balls on a black canvas played my blanket.
Rock stone was my pillow. They said 5 pillars carry clean soul, and while some symbolize stoning the devil by flinging rock at wall, I got stoned. Now I feel like Hove holding rock over dome, contemplating the dome of the rock. How bloodstains coated the journey from mountaintop to the 7 heavens, arguing over messenger, ignoring the message. We are simply passengers of fate with opinions. Good Lord, take the wheel. While the crescent and the star bring me to my knees, if the demiurge is real, then Amesemi lives in me. I blacked my skin under the sun on the sands of the Sahara. At Maghrib with my face on earth, I broke my fast and asked Allah to make this my last breath. I lost the strength to starve my breast, the strength to starve my neck from stress, to find the one to bring a child to be oppressed, the strength to speak like father did. Fight like father did. I'll never be that tall, my shoulders too damn small, my eyes then dimmed, then came up with the sun at dawn. I saw a home. The grave is small, forever I'll be all alone and comfortable. I found a temple at the dome, I saw a home. The grave is small, forever I'll be all alone and comfortable. I found a temple at the dome.
Let's hear it for SAP S2E. Keep your love going for our second slammer of the second half, Elliot Waloschek.
They won't tell you this, but on the rope ladder to the sun, there will be very long waiting lists. They won't tell you this, but they'll keep getting longer, and you'll keep waiting, and you'll hang one-handed, looking down at the rungs beneath you, each one a younger you, waiting. All your other hands press the phone call to your cheek, the cheek, for them to tell you another 6 months, another 2 years. Each rung above you is a scar, glittered with gasping suns. Each rung above you, a mirage that slivers in the grip of waking. Each rung above you, another summer suffocated. Around you, invisible bodies plummet. Their names burnt, each finger a syllable plied. For some, this is a tightrope, not just a waiting line. So, naturally, you might find yourself narrowing your eyes at the sun in suspicion, only to find, always, the light dancing between the stitches of your damp lashes. Keep climbing, blind with fate, despite the weight, the weight. One day, these rope burns will be useful for chariot climbing. Yet, let me tell you, one day, all the world will be your rooftop party. Yes, you can have an orgy. All the glory, can you taste it? Yes, sweet wine, the gods keep them. Your canyon chest, the post-op poems, keep them. Surgery, keep dreaming, baby boy, keep dreaming. Yes, yes, your chest, your unbound treasure chest, finally, the open chest. Worth it just to swim again. You can make it through the waiting. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Elliot Waloschek. People at home, remember to be keeping your scores. At the end of this half, you'll be able to cast your votes. You will only have 2 minutes to do it after the last poet performs, so please be ready, keep your scores, keep them ready for voting at the end. We are going to go back to the live stream and we are going to hear from our fabulous poet from New York. Please give all of your love to Delise.
Somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff. My big fat nose and my hoop earrings, my ass, cornrows, dreadlocks. A white girl is on 125th Street with a Rosa Parks t-shirt on, calling the cops on my things lying dead in the sidewalk. Somebody almost walked off with all of my right to say what I mean, my womb. Sold my children off to jail wardens and Saturday detentions and didn't even bother to call home. Somebody almost walked off with all of my mind, wrote me a letter and signed it crazy. Asked me who my God was, fixing their mouth to tell me she was somebody different. Looked down their nose at me, and maybe if Sojourner ain't a woman, I ain't either. Somebody almost walked off with all of my love, compassion, pancake recipes. Dragged my heart down the stairs and asked me what I thought about it, rewrote it on a napkin and told a white man to say it on the news in the morning, made a hashtag, forgot what my voice sounded like, and Tarana Burke said, ain't it me too? Somebody almost walked off with all of my things and didn't even say they had them, just walked down the street with them in a closed fist. Somebody almost left me naked. Somebody told me I wasn't beautiful. Somebody tried to eat my name, jumble it up in their mouth, and spit it back out to me dead in the street. I want my things. I want my me back. I want to know what it feels like to have a place in this world without somebody always trying to take me from it. Like we still contaminating swimming pools. Like First Lady ain't a First Lady if she looked like me. I want my savior complex. My hips that widen and crack when it rains. I want my mommy issues, my never gonna change back. I want my toes in the sand. Topless, sunburnt, crying with my face upturned deliverance. I miss her. Thank you.
Delise. Keep that love going for our next slammer, Ruth Awolola. Keep that love going until they get to the stage. Catwalking, yes, strut.
This poem is called Marooned. Have you ever been lost? Like, proper lost? Not wrong turns on unfamiliar roads, not 59-minute detours, not even as a child in a supermarket aisle. Lost where panic is the sun and we are in the west. Lost like finding faith again so you have someone to pray to. Lost enough to remember how big the world is and think you may never, ever make it home. Marooning is the act of punishment by abandonment, sanctioned by seclusion. God forsaken, I am both mutiny and haunted island. It is on the anniversaries of your death where I am most directionless. It is maps taking flight in the wind. Maybe this is why I loathe time so much. This arbitrary habit it has of remembering and reminding. Every second without you is one too many. A moment we could have spent together laughing or learning or loving or perhaps living. So a year hits like a punch to the gut and I am physically sick. Debilitated, disoriented, deserted. It must be possible to smell of sorrow. I try to wipe the anguish from my face, but everyone I have loved since says I taste like melancholy. I wear this with me everywhere. I criticize my tears for the selfishness of lamenting being left behind, but I think even granted immortality, I wouldn't see enough seasons to process you being gone. And I wish every word I write could be a celebration of our time together. All the things you taught me about being human, how to howl at the moon, what not to eat if you haven't cooked it yourself, about slaying dragons and climbing mountains, the things we found and the things we felt, the songs we sung and the people we were becoming. But there is a sick circular nature to remembering how much I love you and realizing you are not here. There were times I couldn't swallow your name without exploding. Would not close my eyes in case I met you in my dreams, would not love anyone for fear of losing them. You would not invite grief to a party, so I was suspicious of all of my friends. I changed my name 1,000 times, I even tried running from my own shadow. There is a unique madness to this loneliness. I'm not looking to be rescued, but every person I meet now is a passing vessel. Hope in the dark optimism of marooning, I am in awe of your ability to keep existing. It reminds me how big the world is, and even though it won't be the same without you, I am not too lost to find my way home. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Ruth Awolola. Keep that love going for our next poet to come to the stage, Azan Ahmed.
This poem is called Spit. The shore of Kishore roars through a sunrise radio, quality as cloudy as British summertime. What lures me out of the labyrinth of dreams is the golden aroma of pounded onions swimming in garlic and ginger, of fried wheat being flipped over and over. Packed lunches I was too ashamed to eat, made by hands that spoke roti and rolled R's, hands that never had to cut out their own tongue, for the tendons that tied the strings to their roots never went out of tune. Enough of that. No time to think how fazul my Urdu is. Got to get to school before the brares who could afford to look cool make a move on you know who. All right, let's assess. Shoes polished, blazer pressed, hair looking like the night sky, had sex with the porcupine, and my tie's fat. Sick. Yo, there's this cloud above me. It has the outline of a rug. A bulge in blank space peppered with thin borders. Cumulus carpet covering the council estate. Or a rug that's had its rich tapestry washed away. A tongue floating in the margin between hand and mouth. But why does your damagh always make these moist sounds? Just get to form so you can inform Samira that no brother coming near her is as fly as you. Cool? Cool. Oh, shit. I've gone the wrong way. My steps have gone nearer to those guys. Vultures huddled on the ledge, Reebok soles dangling like pairs of battered patangs. You know the ones. With the paper white skin, heads licked razor thin. If I just acted tough and looked cool, I could get to school without having to dip, duck, dodge, and dive under their drool. How could a speck of saliva weigh so much? Once their lips are locked and they've cocked back their tongues, I know my dignity has already been undone. This silver blot on my mental drills through my skull, shoots down my spine, and in the nick of time evolves into an anchor, whipping my neck down, watching my feet make pathetic sounds. I feel smaller than the ball of spit that sits on my scalp. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Azan Ahmed. Keep that love going for our next slammer of the night, Kiran Ray Williams.
This poem is called Rite of Passage. 2006. I was 6 years of age. I was shy, but I was eager, had my wits on display. To my surprise, I was quite keen, positive in the brain when the teacher asked the class to write some bits on a page. I picked up my trusty pencil and I jotted down my thoughts, the sorts of thoughts I can't remember. Let's just say I was in awe because before I could complete a sentence, someone came and made an entrance, called me by my name and pointed me towards the door. I swallowed my pride and followed their stride. We were able to find a table outside. I settled their panic tense as a mannequin, confused and scared. I was losing hair. And then she showed me something that would shortly change my life. It was a book, and in the book were lines with dotted lines inside. I said, what a wild surprise. The dotted lines were letters with some spaces I could write beside. I decided to pry for why. And then she told me my handwriting was illegible. I was only 6 years old, and so I thought that meant incredible. Then she said I'd have to practice writing every week. Oh, that really hit me deep. I was only 6 years old, and so I thought I was a freak, and back then, I couldn't find a reason why I'd even have to do it, but looking back 14 years later, I think I have the answer to it. It was bad. Looking back on books I had is hard to do. It's hard to prove I even knew what letters were. They're curved, but not like cursive. It's absurd. I've got the words, it's just they're churned or somewhat burned inside the earth's core. What hurts more, 2010 when I was 10, finally got to write in pen. I was the last one in my class, but it's a victory nonetheless. I sat down at my desk, positive in my brain, when the teacher asked the class to write some bits on a page. "Your handwriting's so neat," one girl said to another. She looked over at my page. I swear I saw her shudder. 2014, I was 14, parents' evening, English class. Teacher said I was a joy to have and I was really smart. So amazing, going places, not afraid to break the mold. But he has the handwriting of a 6-year-old. 2020, now I'm 20. Let's just say I type my words. Good handwriting is a skill I'll never think I'll learn. But let's be fair, it's not life or death, like trying meth on a driving test. Although if you did that and passed, I'd be quite impressed. For legal reasons, that last line was in jest. Your phone dying before the best part of your favorite song. Sacrificing your firstborn to the pagan gods. Missing your morning flight to the Northern Lights because of a sat-nav wrong turn. Losing the last ticket to the final Michael Jackson concert. Your house being burned. Being framed for murder. Being trapped in a cave and made to work in stray deserted places. Hurt with facial... Sorry, my bad. I got distracted there. I'll admit. I was just describing all the things better than my handwriting when I was 6. It was awful. I tried writing with my left hand once. My right hand is only slightly better at writing letters. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just something that I own. And I've learned no matter how much I try, my handwriting will always be written in stone. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Kiran Ray Williams. We are just over halfway through the second half of the slam. Judges, how are we doing? All good? Thumbs up, brilliant. Okay, audience at home, remember to get your votes ready for the end of the second half. And also remember, if you loved the work of any of the poets you saw tonight, if you saw a poem that you particularly loved or a poet that you thought, oh, they're amazing, go and support their work. Find them online, find them on social media, follow them, support the projects they're involved in. When this is all over, go and watch them at gigs. This is all about supporting the young people who we are platforming on the stage, so please make sure you go and do that. So, without further ado, we are going to welcome our next poet to the stage. Please give all of your love to Syd Wilmot.
One, lather. I can't remember when I started lying. I think this is about shame, opposite of pride, and how it always finds its way out. I was covered in it. Can't remember when it started. In the dream, I get so drunk I can't take off my own boots. I climb 16 flights of stairs to bed barefoot with a ring stuck on my finger. In my bed, the fingers tangled in the tassel of a charity shop blanket, once tripped over on the walk home. I'm a cheapskate. A stranger gently places the escaped clementines back into my shopping bag. Tells me she fell down in public too. Should have seen the colour of my face, she says. Felt shame as if for the first time. Can't remember when I started lying. I want to be clean sheets. To dry outside at my own pace, take the shape of the line I'm folded over. You hide in the plumbing. Whisper in the pipes, tell me through the plug hole, I'm not committed enough while I brush my nails. You'd love me more if I were a man. I have to get the finger amputated. I tell you not to worry, it's my left hand, you leave me anyway. I fall into a pond, filled with fat, luxurious catfish, and decide to stay. A woman who looks almost like you drops crumbs on the surface. I wait for them to get wet through and sink before I eat them. 2, rinse. I want to dry outside, with bite marks from the clothes pegs baked in, denim seams, crescent moon nail marks on flesh. I want you to straighten out my creases with your soft hands, nails painted coral, never once reach for the iron. You tell me no one is ready-made. Construct ourselves along the way. Shame is a patchwork quilt. To speak aloud is catharsis, not the cure. This does not kill the shame, does not come out in the first wash. I scrub 100 times, only notice the greasy spot droplet stain when I hold myself up to the light. And I doubt Not because I'm wrong. Because I still wonder, would it be easier if I weren't this way? 3, repeat. I wanted to write a poem about my happy, how I wear it on my body, my orange, my God, I feel it when the sun is shining. Old Clementine can't always carry proud with me. I apply bright colours like antiseptic, where it hurts. All the shame and the sorry, I take that lemon yellow with me everywhere I go, that sunlight on my bones. Some days can't carry proud with me. But when I see the light hit the leaves, perfect green, I'm glad I'm here to see it. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Syd Wilmot with the sneaky interval outfit change. I see you like it, love it. Great, okay, please welcome our next poet to the stage, Oshanti Ahmed.
Tracking evil eye. Someone's daughter turned into a ram, and when they split her skull open, they found other people's eyes nestled deep, breathing like a family of maggots. Apparently, the local women sniffed her out like a pack of hound dogs. It wasn't clear if what they thought she had done was true when they convicted her. But when I went to go see the body and gasped, my tongue caught a light and my mum shrilled for me to stamp it out before I turn into somebody's daughter and the aunties catch on. I always try standing with as little weight on my ankle as possible, but someone's fingernail was skimming the white parts around my pupils. Anyone who shares the same surname as me is the key in finding out who is watching. I'm plotting. I hold my breath before I hug any of the elders here. What would they make of my panicked pulse? Everything alive and moving is a snitch.
Let's hear it for Oshanti Ahmed. For the final time, we now have somebody zooming into us from Glasgow. Please give your love for our final live streaming poet of the evening, Michael Mullen.
It's his first Pride in the city. He's made new friends and they're heading to the gay bar named Friction. He'd read somewhere that they took the pink out the flag because they couldn't get a hold of the colour. He'd always thought it was because it meant sex. In the gay bar named Friction, he drinks in the stiff sparkle of bodies. He's open to thoughts of tenderness, of sweat, a lilac-lit love. He drops a pill and slots into the rhythm. Hot pink insides answering hungers, sexy glad eyes, gladioli flush in his gullet. His bones summoned by beats. He's coming up. The drug of a caught glance, the tentative dance towards a finale of limbs as the pill stamps his brain. He feels the appetite of his own atoms following that hot guy into the car park. He's tipsy on the fake promise made by a look, a hand, a breaking of hot pink ice, and the car park is a garden of bodies, hot pink gums sharing hot pink moments, two tongues meeting as he soaks history right from a stranger's lips, his brain fizzing with visions. Visions of 1,000 men giving blowjobs, lashes flickering like moths, giddy with lamplight, hot pink palaces, oysters being slurped in a clot wash of girls, lipstick printing out hot pink scripture, visions of lavender roommates trading flirtations in Polari, Patrons of every gender exerting their freedom in windowless bars, visions of the pink pounding into the economy, capitalism raising technicolor flags as homophobes drip in the designs of effete geniuses, visions of strays kissing under the shade of a plague, the bummer's curse, a hemoglobin wail, queers punished for a brief cluster of orgasms, the cooling jewel of ejaculate, the rising fear of a passion turned poison, of God's will in action. Andy's tripping off a kiss. What the fuck was in that shit? He thinks. His primordial porno visions coming to a close. He walks hand in hand with the man who shared his lips back into a gay bar called Fiction. Tonight could just be the consummation of curiosity, his cockles aglow with a hot pink froth. He may not need to get the night bus. He may just have pulled for the very first time in a gay bar named Fiction.
Let's hear it for Michael Mullen. Audience at home and everyone here at the Roundhouse, you've been doing amazing with your energy. For these last two poets, let's make sure we give them all the same love and all the same attention that we gave to the people right at the start of the slam. Please welcome to the stage your penultimate poet of the night, Greg Arundell.
Green and gold. You are my heart. In freshly sharpened mist, among your ranges and cobbles we float in fog like stew, like well-worn pages, battered, torn but well-loved, edges curled as each owner eagerly thumbs your many tales, inscribed in calligraphy, curling Gaelic swirls. You are my heart. Dive through your veins. We wind our way through, flanked on either side by an evergreen guard of green and gold, high with the prospect of the journey and the end. But we cannot forget, you still bear scars, spirit bruised but never broken, for we are like matches. Strike me and I'll burn brighter than you can ever possibly imagine. You are my heart, and I could drink a case of you and still be on my feet. You are my heart in the swell and the smell of warm soda bread and Sunday roast. You are my heart in hill or in home. You are my heart.
Make some noise for Greg Arundell. And welcome up our final slammer of the evening. Please give all your love to Amani Saeed. Keep that love going until she gets right to the front of the stage.
This poem is dedicated to all the white people I know. Mayonnaise, vanilla, marshmallow, pasty. Who do you lose first in a blizzard? Steve! No? Wonder Bread? Wasp? Casper? Hick? What's white and 12 inches long? Nothing! Gotcha. Ah, damn whitey. Cracker, gringo, blue-eyed devil. Why shouldn't white people go swimming? Because crackers go soggy when they get wet. Privileged, racist, gora, honky. What do you say to a white guy running with a TV? Excuse me, sir, you dropped your receipt. Inbred, redneck, yuppie, yank. Why can't white people play chess? Because they've been taught that all the white pieces are kings. Pig fucker, Nazi, bleached, invisible. What's the best flat surface to iron on? A white girl's ass. Trailer trash, lazy, arrogant, entitled. What's white and can't get credit? Nothing. Skinhead. Fascist. Colorless. Tell me. Tell me. What does it do to you?
Make some noise for Amani Saeed and all of the poets that you've heard tonight. That is the end of the Roundhouse Poetry Slam 2020. The audience vote is now open. So you will have 2 minutes to make your vote. People at home, 2 minutes-ish, not very much more time than that. There should be a link somewhere on the screen near me. Click that link and you can vote for your favorite poet of the evening. Make sure you do it right now. Right now, right now, right now. Vote now. Okay. So before we hear from some of our judges, can we just have another round of applause, not just for all of the poets that performed tonight, but for all of the poets who were in the heats. They put in just as much effort and just as much work to be here. So let's hear it for all of the young people that have been involved in this year's Roundhouse Poetry Slam. Woo! As we said right at the start of the slam, the points are not the points is the poetry, and we've heard some incredible poetry tonight. I know there's been a lot to take in, there's been a wide range of emotions, there's been a lot going on, and we are really, really glad that the young people all shared their work with us tonight. Can we just, everybody at home, everybody in the Roundhouse here, can we all just get kind of equilibrate, whatever the word is, ourselves, and just take in 2 deep breaths together after all of that amazing poetry. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for humouring me on that. So we are now going to hear some work of our brilliant judges. So I introduced them at the start of the show. As I said at the beginning, we're really lucky to have them here with us today. Our first judge, who we're going to hear from today, is the winner of this year's Forward Prize for Best First Collection, and he's nominated for the T.S. Eliot Prize. Please give all of your love to the brilliant Will Harris.
This is a really tough act to follow. I feel really nervous. It's really nerve-wracking coming up here. I'm kind of even more amazed at how well everyone did. I often feel like one of the main reasons I write is to prove to myself that I exist. And right now I feel very filled with the kind of humanness of this room. Is it a room? It's like a hall. This is a poem I wrote, I guess, about growing up in London, where you're very close and very far from things at the same time. It's called Half Got Out. I was reading a poem by Ben Jonson, where a newborn half got out, sees the city burning and decides to crawl back into his mother's womb. Thine urn, he calls it. It was Tuesday morning. I'd just seen Leo near Leicester Square. He was reading a book by W.S. Merwin, a poet himself newly returned to his dead mother's womb. I was feeling so anxious, Leo said, kind of low. When I read him, it felt like I found him at just the right time. I'm not sure, but don't parents always talk about their kids arriving at just the right time? Like you might describe finding your flip-flops just before a beach holiday. Yes, I said to Leo. He wrote that poem, didn't he? The sad dad one that starts, "My friend says I was not a good son, you understand?" I say, yes, I understand. He says, "I did not go to see my parents very often, you know." And I say, yes, I know. I love the way the dialogue loops back in on itself. The way you know the poet is really talking to or about themselves. It hurts to read it. It reminds me I could be seeing my parents right now, who live 10 stops away. Yes, half an hour, but I'm not. And what else am I not doing? You have to work, though. You have to make a living. That may be true. I don't know. I left the library in light rain to meet Sophie for a drink at the Chandos, and she told me her granddad used to go to Richmond Park to fish. He was a wireless operating sergeant during the war. It's not like she cares. It's just funny, you know. Even if she had a Victoria Cross taped to her forward, it wouldn't stop those dickheads at the bar from asking if she's Latina or something. I just fucking hate this city. You understand? I say, yes, I understand. But I don't know how to leave. I say, yes, I know. I mean, sorry, I don't know. I don't know how to leave or where I'd even go. I loop back to enter the tube at Leicester Square, stepping over the body of a homeless man, to travel further again from my mother's womb to Turnpike Lane, the word interred echoing in my head. How many acres of earth were there above me then? The whole city might have been burning. I could already have been dead. There's no going back, my dad said. But how many times have I crossed the point of no return, only to crawl back down King Street or Goldhawk Road to eat chicken noodle soup and talk about seat cushions from Lidl? Yes, I know they're good value. Thank you for dinner. Thank you. Half got out and half enwombed. I know that's just the way it is. I understand the tube threading me like a complex stitch beneath and through the city, back to the house we've been sharing lately. When I got in, I said, I'm home. And you said, yes, I know. And then you filled the kettle and sat down next to me and said, thank you.
Let's hear it for Will Harris. Up next to the stage is another one of our fantastic judges, poet, essayist, publisher, producer, poetry educator. Please give all your love to Anthony Anaxagoro.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to be back with people again after a long time looking at my own face in the screen. So it's nice to have some company. This poem's called A Discursive Meditation on the Photograph. Of image and frame, holding subject matter by its considered light, can you see sentences of angularity, the grammar of buildings, uniformed neon, the emblem of something flying, something falling, middle distance stare? The popinjay moves to occupy more corners, dinky libertine. The sky grows from out your shoulders, garlanded by the matted hair of poverty. Set the coffee on the table, roadkill aesthete, rushing to buy a footprint in sand. What is more necessary? The ocean's blue or hope? Panoramic view blinded by light's lack. A matchstick model of a church is balanced on a child's wrist. Pray or play, move around, hold still for me now. Dead corpse, so stunning and dead. Bomb blast, silent, exploded flash, broken footage, all barren and ruddy. Carnage of apathy, gruesome and exposed and somehow newsworthy. Dreaming of porn, death porn, dead porn, murder fatigue. War is a woman trembling and nude, a man boneless. War is a boat with a continent in tow, a grin of bastards, move away from me. Chamomile tea calm, flower market Sundays dreamy and bucolic. Place it properly. Change the lens, make it personal, move around, take another antiseptic song, Blue Infirmary, where days are drained by cancer and there's tumours in the water. The nurse's steady lift onto the bed is in memory of closed mortuaries and those further afield. Hold my hand before I die, and I love you. Hold my hand as I am born, and I love you. A life spent asking for help, asking for love. Do you love me? Do I look good in this body, in this red or this green? Every colour is alone. Try taking it from over there. Airbrush the moon's stretch marks. Ask the river to pout. Ask the sea to smile. How many sunsets do we bury in ourselves before we die? And still, my sadness can be nothing but human, flummoxed and looking to forget. Can you see? Can you feel the breath of each brick in this city? We are born to a siren and the wail of each other. I'll drink to that and I'll pray. With dog shit on my shoe and a bladder full of piss, can you see? Everyone gather round, my worst side, asymmetric as rock. This is a honeymoon calling for a rescue boat, a penny balancing on a baby's heart. This is me wanting to look like I've been painted by someone other than myself. Give me direction. Show me God. Keep me still, push me down, wash my thoughts before you shoot. Everything is looking for release. Say you look tired. Talk to me about love, the people you remember. Say something different, something strange. Talk to me about funerals, the men who stand apart from their wives. Ask me to look up. Say, there you are. Can you see?
Let's do it for Anthony Naxaguru. Brilliant. So the votes are still being counted. The audience vote is now closed, I believe. The audience vote is closed. Yes, it has closed. So I hope you were all able to cast your votes. They have now been counted, or they're currently being counted. So we are going to wait for a second to hear about the scores on those. A reminder, if you liked anything that you heard tonight, please do go and follow the young people, support them, support the projects they're working on, and support the Roundhouse as well. The Roundhouse does a lot of incredible work with young people, supporting 16 to 25-year-olds. So please, if you're not familiar with their work, check them out. If you're a young person yourself, have a look on the programs, and when things are a bit more up and running, you'll be able to sign up and get involved. So please make sure you do that. Okay, so we are gonna, I was asked if I would do a couple of poems whilst we are still waiting for the scores to come in. Before I came on stage, Ali was like, please just don't do any more dad jokes. Leave the dad jokes alone. So I'm not gonna do any more dad jokes. I did have a joke about construction, but I'm still working on it. Woo! Okay, Maria Ferguson people, at Maria Ferguson. Okay, can we also give some love to Ali Gordon, our fantastic BSL interpreter, who's been working so hard tonight. Okay, so while the scores are being counted, I'm going to quickly read a couple of poems, and then I'll usher myself off the stage when I get the signal to do so. We'll see how many we go. So, yeah, a quick bit of background that might be necessary if we get that far, if we need that much time. I grew up in Leicester, and I went to an all-boys state school in Leicester, which was also a sports college. I flourished. Absolutely flourished. Okay, so this poem is called Grandpa Terry. Grandpa Terry lets me stamp on his beer cans before he throws them away. They crunch into metal mince pies below my trainers, and I tell him to drink quicker so I can jump on more, please. My sister performs a dance routine for him in the kitchen. Say You'll Be There by the Spice Girls. And his cheeks are streams of tinsel. Grandchildren, I perfected my surprise face when unwrapping Superman merchandise. My mum and dad give me the only present I asked for. Winter sports bar. She comes drenched in a skin-tight glitter bodysuit, and her hair is a crimson. She looks how I imagine my dreams might be if I stuck their feet to a pink snowboard and asked them to lose weight. I call her Angela. Grandpa Terry watches from the back door as Angela glides across the frozen lake of my nan's bird bath. She sings Say You'll Be There as loudly as she can and skis through the air on her hands. Behind me, I feel Grandpa Terry's lips plie open and closed, like my older cousins do whenever I mention Santa. Wanting to say something, thinking better of it. Avalanche stopping just short of the village. Grandpa Terry crushes something below his thigh, turns his back, leaves me an empty Stella can in the snow. 2. Deliverance, verbatim. I've known it from the day he was born. I was in the hospital and the midwife, she put him on my chest and I held him and I felt him, I felt him. And I says to myself, I says, Joanne, this baby is a gay baby. And I just thought, well, that's that. I love him, no different. That's that. 3, good to go. Okay, fab. Okay, that's me, that's done, we're done. We have got the scores in, thank you. Okay. Oh, sorry, I thought we were gonna have to pull out my whole back catalogue. Brilliant, okay, we are done. So, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce the next person to the stage. This person is going to be telling you who has won the Roundhouse Slam tonight. Everybody who's performed tonight are winners. Everybody who took part in the Slam in the prelim rounds are winners. They all shared their work. They all got up and had the courage to share their stories in front of everybody. So let's hear it one more time for every single young person who's taken part in the Slam this year. I'm going to introduce the fantastic CEO and artistic director of the Roundhouse to introduce who has won the Slam. Please give all your love to Marcus Davey.
Toby, thank you so much. It's just fantastic to be back in this beautiful space. And thank you to these wonderful poets for bringing it back to life after all these months of closure. And I suppose we can say this beautiful building has been resting, but I can't wait for the day when we can dance together, when we can be together to see amazing art all crushed in together rather than just seeing down on a screen. But I really want to thank all those people who are watching online. I was thinking back to 14 years ago when we gave our first ever poetry slam. Could I ever imagine that we'd be doing it socially distanced, down a screen, to people all around the country and all around the world? No, I couldn't. But what I suppose I could imagine is that the brilliance and the bright light that these wonderful young poets shine out will continue, and it has tonight. So let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. To share their inner world and their experiences of the outer world has really brought such immense and intense pleasure, laughter, sadness, horror into my life this evening. And I imagine it has done for you as well. Last time we had the Poetry Slam in here, it was full of people cheering. To come up on this stage where the likes of Jimi Hendrix or Pink Floyd cut their teeth, or Akram Khan danced only a few years ago, or any of the world's great circuses have performed, is a really brave thing. Next year, let's hope we're all sitting in here together, listening to the next group of poets to come through into this world as amazing artists and on to the next thing that they do. Firstly, I want to thank our partners. Our partners, Hull Truck Theatre in Hull, in Wrexham, the National Theatre of Wales, and our friends in Gloucester, Striker Light and Gloucester Culture Trust. We've had poets from Sheffield, London of course, New York, Scotland, and our other friends in Manchester as well. You've all been amazing, and I can't thank you enough. To our wonderful judges, really fantastic to have you here. Big applause, yes. To Will, Toby, and Anthony, you've been a joy as always, and your professionalism, we're so privileged to have you here this evening. And all the Heat judges and the host of the Heats, who is such a Roundhouse familiar face, Joelle Taylor, thank you as well. It's great to have had you along the road. And I think Toby has said this already, but we have prizes to award. They're coming up soon. And I know there's this kind of burning spot on the back of my head as the poets are saying, please get off, or just tell us who's won. But I'm going to hold you on just a little bit longer. First prize is going to be £600. Second prize, £400. Third prize, 300, and there's an audience vote at £300 as well. All the finalists receive gifts of the judges and hosts' books as well, something extra to read during lockdown. During this period, many people in our part of the world, in the arts world, have lost their jobs. Many people did not know which direction to go. It has been an excruciating time for nearly everybody in the world. But to bring people back to here tonight, even just for this night, to see my fantastic colleagues who I adore and admire, to put on this amazing lighting show, to get the sound so perfect, to be the filming, and to get this place COVID safe, to make it feel safe and welcoming to everyone that's been here tonight. You are awesome. And I know that if you could to shout and scream down the line to these amazing colleagues of mine, you would, but I am doing it for you. So thank you, my wonderful colleagues. And for all the donors and the funders who stuck with us throughout this year, when at times it looked dark and bleak, the Arts Council who've held our hands through it, to the Paul Hamlin Foundation, to the chairman and the producing circle who've all continued their support of the work that we do at the Roundhouse. And all of those of you who are donating this evening, thank you for your support. For those of you who have joined us for the first time to see the poets tonight, you may not know that below my feet is an amazing state-of-the-art creative centre where 24 state-of-the-art studios hum and buzz every single day of the year. And in the year before COVID hit us, 7,500 young people came and took part in projects and courses and used our studios. It's a delight and an awesome experience to go around those studios and see everything happening, from music and poetry and circus and so much more. And of course, they've been quiet. They've been very quiet indeed. We managed to open them just for 8 days before this next lockdown happened. Young people need the Roundhouse and spaces like it more than ever today. If you're watching and you can support, please do support us to help them. Their voice is more needed now. You've heard some of them this evening, but can you imagine how many more thousands of young people there are out there who want to share their art, want to share their creativity, want to find their path into a future, want to find their lives and into their work that they so deserve? The Roundhouse can help do that, and for all of you who do help us, we can't thank you enough. And to see this space returned, even in this form, just for this evening, brings my heart full of joy, and I hope it does yours. So, there are going to be more challenges ahead, but with the words of our poets, the spirits in the air tonight, let's go to the prizes. And then in third prize, for the first time ever, we have a joint third prize. So I'm delighted, and I don't think even the judges know who's won or come first, second, or third. You just did the scores and we handed them over, and I'm the person with them here. So in third prize, I hope these joint two people will stand up and take your applause in a second. Are Saf S2E and Amani. Please give them a huge round of applause. Well done, fantastic, wonderful. That's great. First time ever that has happened. And in second place, please congratulate the wonderful Syd. Where are you? Over there. Well done. And the audience vote. I hope you're watching, because all the way over there in New York, please say congratulations to Jay. A truly international slam. It's great to have you here with us this evening, Jay, and thank you so much for participating and being part of our slam at the Roundhouse. Thank you. And in first place, this is the minute when everybody is, on those shows you see on TV, they wait for as long as possible. But get your screams ready, get your clapping ready, and please congratulate the winner, who I hope will come up here and take a bow, Elliot. Well done. Brilliant. Congratulations. Fantastic winner. So as we enter the end of the Poetry Slam for this year, let's look forward to a time when we can all come together, when we can all listen to more great poets, when we feel that our support is enabling the next generation to find their feet in the world through their creativity. Last but not least, a huge thank to finish the evening to our wonderful host this evening, a poet who I greatly admire and have watched and listened to for many years, Toby Campion. So thank you very much for joining online. Thank you very much to the crew for cheering and screaming and being wonderful in the background. But most of all, let's have a massive round of applause for all the poets who I hope will stand up and say, to receive our thanks. Thank you, poets. Good night, and I hope to see you very soon at a live event at the Roundhouse. Thank you.